$1 million question. Are you exactly where you thought you would be in life in terms of your relationship? I can tell you straight up that I am not, and here is why. Welcome to Carla Turned On, where dating and relationships get real, sex gets talked about, and the BS gets left on red. Let's get turned on. I just celebrated my birthday the other day, and I can tell you right now, this is nowhere near where I thought I would be in life when I was dreaming of where I would be in life like 15 years ago. I can tell you right now as a young adult that I was like, yeah, I'm going to be married and I'm going to have kids before the age of 30. Yo, I am in my mid 30s. Welcome to the mid 30s club if there's anybody who is in their mid 30s. But celebrating my birthday the other day, I can tell you right now, reflecting back, thank fucking God none of that shit happened because I am exactly where I'm supposed to be, but I'm not where I thought I was going to be. And I think that those are two very different, distinctual things that you got to think about for yourself. So I was in my early 30s, and at 31, my ex cheated on me and I was engaged and I ended this engagement. And oh my God, I'm like, what the fuck? But it was actually one of the most liberating, one of the most amazing things that could have happened to me in my 30s. My sister wrote on my 30th birthday card. Okay, this was years ago. I didn't just turn 30 on my birthday card, the 30s are going to be the best time of your life. And at 31 years old, moving back in with my mom, I remember laying in my old childhood bedroom and staring at the ceiling. This was like very soon post breakup. Like I just moved out of Boston. I was like looking at the ceiling and what the fuck is my life? And I remember thinking that she wrote 30s are going to be the best time of your life. And I was like, please tell me when it gets better because I think I've hit rock bottom. Like if rock bottom had a basement, I'm in the fucking basement. It is dark down there. It is damp. Like what the fuck is happening? And I felt so hopeless at the time. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I felt so hopeless. And what kept me going was my mom had said to me, she was like, you are not going to cancel any of your dating relationship coaching clients. You are going to show up to work and you're going to keep working. You're not going to let this breakup take that from you. And I was like, okay, yeah. And in my sessions, I still believed in what I was coaching my clients on. And my clients were emailing me, oh, I got engaged, or we're moving in together, or we're talking about getting married, or I just got a first date. It finally went so well. Like everything's going really great. Now we're on a second, third date. How do I make it official? My clients were having all this amazing success around relationships. And I was like, you know what? Fuck that. Love doesn't have to suck. It doesn't have to be this thing that is terrible just because of one experience of mine. And it liberated me. It liberated me because I realized that number one, I didn't need somebody, I wanted somebody. And I knew this in my previous relationship, but it solidified that I didn't care how long I was going to be single for. I was not going to settle. I was absolutely going to find my person in my 30s, no matter how long it took me. Like, I did not care. And I'm going to also throw this out too. I really want to have kids. I don't have children right now, but I really want to have kids. That is something that I absolutely want in life. And at the time, I even thought to myself, I am not going to try to find just anybody to be with because I want to try to have kids with this person. No, fuck that. I was like, I know I want to have kids. I'll find a way to have kids on my own if I don't meet that person yet. Because here's the truth is that you can always date once you have children. That does not stop. I coach so many men and women who have kids through divorce or even have kids on their own and date successfully and get into relationships that are successful. So I truly believe you do not have to do things in order. We put so much expectation as a fucking society on ourselves to be here by this age, do this by this age. You're a loser if you do this by that age, or if you're still doing this, like, no, that is BS. And I can tell you, as somebody who now is married, that it was worth the wait. It kind of happened a little bit sooner than I thought it would in terms of meeting somebody, but I met somebody. And I can tell you right now, as somebody who was going to take their time, wasn't jumping right back into dating, didn't care about all the pressures that society puts on women. And I know men feel this too, because I have clients who feel this way. But a lot of women feel the pressures around wanting to have a kid, finding somebody to have a kid with. Are they going to just be like left, pushed to the wayside? The dating apps are no longer going to like pick up them on the algorithm because they've aged out and blah, 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 and all this stuff. Like that's BS. I have clients this year having babies who are in their 40s. I have some clients who have them with partners. I have a client who is doing it on her own. I've had clients who've done it on their own. It doesn't matter. There is no perfect way to live your life. And for myself, of where I thought I was going to be romantically, thank fucking God it didn't happen. Because today I'm married and I have the most amazing husband, and I fucking would not have had him if I just tried to follow life's plan because of what society says, because of the interpretation of my worth around being a human being and relationships. Like, that's bullshit. Okay. So at the end of the day, if you're not where you want to be, you are where you're supposed to be. I know. And you might not like that I say that, but looking back to the girl who was laying in her old childhood bedroom, looking up at the ceiling, thinking, what the fuck is this? I'm nowhere near I wanted to be. My 30s aren't great. I can tell you now, my 30s are fucking awesome. Like, I love being in my 30s. And I'm embracing aging. Yes, I'm getting some grays. There are some grays coming through here. I am embracing aging, and I don't give a shit. I want to age gracefully. I really, really do. And it's important for me to honor that and to embrace it and not have to feel pressure from society as a woman of where I should be in life. So at the end of the day, I'm just going to say flat out, you are exactly where you need to be. You are 100%. All right, but let's get into what we're going to be discussing on Carla Turned On today. And also, don't forget, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on all my socials at I am Carla Romo. Or if you want to work with me, you can go to the show notes. You can work with me one-on-one. I offer an Ask Me Anything session, all the good stuff in there, dating profile makeover. I have some different programs, all that good stuff in the show notes, or you can go to carlaromo.com. Okay, we are going to get into my turned off rant of just because they went to therapy doesn't all of a sudden mean that they are healthy. I know you're going to be like, what the heck, Carla? Why? Because as somebody who is a full proponent in therapy, as somebody who advocates for people to going to therapy as a coach and who's been to therapy themselves. Okay, I'm just going to back up here. I'm going to save this for the turned off rant. And then we're going to be discussing how to get over a breakup, how to get through a breakup, over a breakup, through a breakup. I'm going to distinguish the two. And then, of course, we are going to talk about it, talking about coming in orgasms and why breakups make some people hypersexual while others are like no sex drive at all. But first, let's get turned off. Okay, let's just back up here for just a moment. I do believe that therapy can benefit everybody if they want it. But just because somebody is going to therapy does not equal that they are healthy. All right, I'm going to explain why this turns me off. So the idea, in a utopia world of therapy and life and society, somebody goes to therapy. They're healthy. They're taking care of themselves. They're making changes in their life. They're in a good place. They're bringing it to healthy relationships. They're bringing it to dating. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Great. Okay. This is where I have to put a hard stop. Lots of people need therapy. Not everybody wants therapy. If you have been in a relationship where you're telling your partner, oh, you need to go to therapy, you need to go, you just got to go, you just got to go, and they're not going to therapy, and then one day something happens and you're like, well, I'm with you or not. You got to go to therapy or not. And they're like, fine, I'll go to therapy. They're going for you technically and not necessarily themselves. That doesn't all of a sudden mean that like, oh, they go to therapy. Now every problem in your relationship is going to be fixed and solved. That is a dangerous trap to get into. You have to want therapy. Lots of people need it, but not everybody wants it. So what does wanting therapy look like? Wanting therapy looks like being honest with your therapist, being ready for therapy. Not everybody is ready for therapy. And I can tell you this as a coach. Obviously, I am different than a therapist, but as a coach, I talk to people sometimes who are interested in working with me, but are like, hey, you know what? I'm not ready to put in the emotional effort it takes to do coaching. And I'm like, full respect. I'm not going to sit here and convince you otherwise, because It is not going to be effective. Therapy coaching is not going to be effective unless you want it and you are ready to open that door. You can be hesitant. I have clients who are like, "Oh gosh, like I'm really like nervous about coaching. This is really vulnerable for me." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you're doing it and I'm fucking proud of you anyway. You're showing up despite the anxiety that is around it or the vulnerability and the discomfort and you're pushing past it, right?" That is different than somebody who is going to therapy because their partner sent them there or is going to therapy after the breakup because they're like, okay, fine, I'm going to go to therapy and I'm going to fix everything. I have a friend and she recently broke up with her ex. And part of it is that they were worked on a lot on their relationship, but he wouldn't go to individual therapy in the entire relationship. So she just finally hit a point where she was like, look, I've done what I could in this relationship. And she really did. And she was like, I can't keep giving into this if I'm not going to get something back out of it in terms of your part. So he was like, okay, let's break up. And then, we're not going to talk for a couple months. I'm going to do therapy and then I'll come back. Here's the problem with that. That's great that this person post breakup is going to get therapy. 100%. I'm like, yes, do it, work through the grief. However, the idea was that I don't want to work on it in the relationship. The intimacy, the emotional intimacy is too much for me. However, once we're apart, I'll work on myself and then I'll bring it back to the relationship. The reality is with therapy is that it works really great when you're in relationships and both willing to work on the relationship through therapy. But therapy is for yourself. It is not for anybody else. It's not to fix the relationship. It's not to be able to get somebody back. Therapy is because you want insights on yourself. And I'm going to leave you with this one too. You can have a partner go to therapy. They make change, but not in the way that you had expectations, not the potential that you were hoping they would get to because they had their own journey and path in life. And then you have to deal with the reckoning of, oh, this person went to therapy and didn't do the things or act a certain way that I wanted them to, but they did it in their own way that was best for them. So I'm just going to leave it here. Just because somebody goes to therapy does not mean that they are amazingly healthy or the relationship's going to be fixed or they are a healthy person to jump into dating with. So happy dating, which kind of leads us into a breakup. Breakups suck. I'm just going to get that out of the way. As somebody who has been through many breakups, to different extents. Some breakups were sort of like a mutual thing. Some were not mutual on both parts. Some ended in something traumatic happening. Some ended in no trauma happening. I have to say, just breakups just suck in general. It doesn't really matter like where. I do have to say this though, is that the more practice you get in a breakup, I'm laughing. Let me back up here. The more practiced and the more that you want to work through the grief in a breakup, and then you go through another breakup, you have the tools to be able to work through that breakup, even if the breakup still brings on the feelings of, I'm never going to get over this person, or, oh my God, I'm single forever, or what's wrong with me that I'm still single? I can never get these things right. I mean, the list could go on and on. Am I right? Yes, I am right. As somebody who's been through many breakups, I can assure you that it sucks. So here's the deal though. Your brain is going to tell you so much shit. And that's normal. And honestly, that is so important to go through during a breakup. But the reality is, hey, real quick, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want dating support, don't forget to look in the notes below where you can learn all about my guides and how to work with me. And if you want to follow me on my socials, you can find me anywhere at I am Carla Romo. Let's get turned on. That is grief talking. That is not who you are. That is not your future. That is not your truth. That is not your reality. That is not the prediction of the way love is going to happen for you for the rest of your life. However, it can feel real. It can feel like, yeah, I suck. Everybody else is moving on. What's wrong with me? Like all of those negative feelings that we've all felt during a breakup before. And I'm also going to tell you this. Nothing can prepare you for a breakup. I don't care if people are like, well, I grieved the relationship in the relationship, so now I don't care. No, there is a level to, okay, once we are done and we are ending things, to then go through the grief of that. And if you skip over the grief of that, then you are not processing your emotions. And those emotions will absolutely come up in other relationships and the way that you handle conflict, the way that you think about breakups, the way that you reevaluate, are we right for each other? If you do not ever process and work through the grief, then that is going to keep resurfacing and you're going to see similar patterns of wanting to just end things, shut things out, pull away, and move on. It is healthy to cry. It is healthy to be fucking angry at that person or angry at the situation or honestly, even angry at yourself. It is normal to feel completely hopeless, like, this is it. I'm never going to find anyone. It's also normal to fantasize. What could I have done differently? Maybe I should have said this, or maybe we should have done that, or maybe there's another way that we can make this work. And it's also okay to have glimmers of deep sadness, laying in bed and watching your favorite show all day, to also meeting up with friends and laughing and having a great time. Nobody gets to talk about your breakup and tell you how you should feel. You get to be the one that goes through the grief, the emotions. You're the one that gets to feel all the feelings that you need to feel. If somebody tries to say something or comment on you or talk about you to other people, not worth your time. Not worth your time, not worth your energy. The reason a breakup feels so dark afterwards is because you have lost trust. You've lost trust in this person. Maybe you even lost trust in yourself. Gosh, what was wrong with me? Like, how do I trust myself to like see the red flags next time, right? Like, or maybe, gosh, like, what's wrong with me? I can't trust picking somebody. It never works out for me. Or I thought things were going so well and they broke up with me suddenly. How do I even trust myself or anybody else or things around me? I don't know what to do. I just feel at a loss. Another really big thing is your nervous system is on overdrive. This can come out with not getting good sleep, feeling super stressed, irritable toward others. Maybe you're even having a little bit of an upset stomach. You're like, oh my God, like, it's not going well down. It's not going well down there. Not feeling so hot and so great. You might even lose your appetite because you're just like, oh, I just feel so awful. I can't eat. I can't eat. These are all normal responses to have. There's nothing wrong with you. Obviously, if it's prolonged and it's going on for a long, long time, obviously go see a doctor. But this is normal. It's kind of expected. And I want to say that in a way, not to diminish the shitty feelings, no pun intended, that you are experiencing right now or have experienced. But I'm going to tell you that it's normal and expect it. Because when you can say, okay, this is what I'm going through, and you can kind of call it out, name it, claim it, it no longer holds the power over you of like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I can't sleep. I can't do this. I can't. It's because you're going through a fucking breakup. It sucks. Your nervous system's like, what the hell? It's on high alert. It might even be in a fight, flight, fawn, freeze state, right? That just, I need to get out of here. I need to fix this. I need to run. I don't know what to do. I'm just frozen right now. Give yourself a break. Take a deep breath and know that this is not forever and you are going to work through this. You are going to work through the heartbreak and you are absolutely going to come out on the other end. And I know I'm not going to let you sit there and say, well, I'm different. Are we sure this situation? No. Okay. You're not that unique. I mean, obviously you're fucking special and amazing, but you're not that unique that all of a sudden you're just stuck here for life and you're never going to move through it. And you're just 0.00001% ever to move through something. No, you're going to move through it as long as you commit to showing up, that is. The other really important thing too, and I'm going to be real with you because I think a lot of people don't realize this, that when you are going through a breakup, you might have feelings of needing a validation hit. It's sort of that rebound, right? Like, maybe I should go date. Maybe I should get out there. Or you have the fear, I'm going to be single forever. Or you're in your 30s and you're like, oh my God, or 40s or 50s or whatever age, but whatever. There is some kind of constraint and pressure on yourself around society saying that you need to find somebody. So you're like, well, I can't be single. I'm running out of time. Well, guess what? Time is on your side when you go through the grieving process. If you skip over that and trying to immediately find somebody else, you are just transferring those feelings and experience that you had with that person in the relationship or trying to fix the grief out of you by finding someone else. That's going to be projected 100% onto that rebound or onto a relationship. I'm not saying that you can't work through this stuff in a relationship, but it gets a lot messier. And ultimately, too, you have to think about the other person here. And you're kind of taking your luggage and dumping it right in their living room floor and saying, hey, walk around it. And I'm not saying that you're doing it consciously, because a lot of times we don't do this consciously. A lot of times we bring the luggage in, put it on somebody's floor, and we're like, help me unpack. And they're like, well, you're not even in your house. Like, this is my house. You're in the way. Like, we got to go back to your house to be able to unpack all of this. Like, we can't do it in my house. And putting all your shit in my house is just making everything messy. And it's now feeling really confusing and kind of getting tired with your bag in the way. So what are we going to do about it? You get the point here. It's normal to feel a push or pull for wanting a rebound or not wanting a rebound. But I think what's really important is to recognize, like, you're not shitty at dating. This isn't a fault of you as a person. This is actually a very normal thing that we can do as human beings, is break up. And a lot of times we don't really think about that. We think about love as the way that it's supposed to be, and that's how it should be. But breaking up is one of the most normal things you can do. It's one of the most shitty things, heartbreak things, but it is one of the most normal things we can do as humans. You also have to remember during a breakup, when you're feeling hopeless, that your body, your brain is wired to handle grief as a human being. So as hard as it is, and as much as you feel like, I'm not going to get through this grief, I'm not going to get over this breakup, I'm going to be here forever, I'm never going to date again, I'm never going to find someone, I'm just going to be single forever. That is the trick grief is playing on you. You will 100% get through it, because you are hardwired as a human being to face adverse situations and build resilience out of it. This is how you are going to go from hopelessly broken up to hopefully moving on. Moving on? I don't know. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is how you are going to get through your breakup. Number one, rebuilding self-trust with yourself. So this is really key here, not to jump right back into another relationship as much as you might want to, but get a life. And I don't mean that in a mean way, and I'm not trying to be an asshole, but get a life. Go do something for yourself that feels good and feels connected. That can be getting a new hobby. That can be starting a workout routine. That can be going to travel. That can go meeting up with friends or visiting friends in another state or city that you want to go see. Go do something for yourself. This is how you build your self-esteem back up. This is how you build confidence back up within yourself. Because right now you're probably like, ooh, I don't know if I can trust anyone. I don't know if I ever want to be in a relationship again. I think it works for other people, just not me. No, that's BS. That's the grief talking. But you need to learn to build that trust back up with yourself. And by doing so is showing yourself that you can go out and do things that you want to do. I know it sounds super basic, but I'm going to tell you right now that when you go out there and you start picking things for yourself and that you enjoy, you start to be able to say, like, I do know what I'm doing. It doesn't need to be through another relationship. Number two, let attraction return slowly. This is really big, of not jumping into something else, but allowing yourself to feel feelings again. At first, you might be completely devastated and like, I have no sex drive. I don't even want to look at people. This is not good. I just want to look away. However, I'm going to tell you right now, letting yourself be in that space is healthy. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually key to letting yourself slowly grow back into attraction. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't need to jump into another relationship. You can take your time. Number three, acknowledge seeing yourself survive from something that was freaking brutal. And this can look like journaling. So like journal right now, like start journaling your thoughts and feelings. And then you can look back in a couple months and be like, wow, I remember when I felt so hopeless, or I thought I was never going to get over this person. And here I am. I have had so many clients have success. I had a client, and when she and I first started working together, she was ending a relationship. And she was like, I don't think I'm ever going to get over him. It's never going to happen. I just think about him all the time. I can't stop. That's normal. Okay. And as time progressed and she was ready to start dating again, and she started dating again, she all of a sudden realized, oh my God, I haven't even thought about him. I haven't thought about him in the longest time. And one day that person just becomes a distant memory. They're no longer part of who you are. But acknowledging that you went through something really hard, giving yourself that fucking pep talk because it's difficult and you did it and you survived it, and being able to see your resilience in action and reflect back on it. And at the end of the day, I'm going to leave you with this reframe. Yes, because I'm a coach. I'll leave you with reframes. The breakup didn't end your story. It grew resilience and wisdom for your future happy ending. So you fucking got this. Stay with it, kiddo. Now, to just shift out of a breakup, we're going to talk about it. Talking about coming in orgasms and sex after a breakup. What are the common responses? Which there's two main ones. And why do we go there? Number one being the obvious, the rebound sex phase. And number two, maybe not being so obvious, but also being an extremely common one, which is the don't touch me, nothing should come near me, I have no sex drive phase. Neither is right or wrong, and both are totally normal responses. Why do we rebound sexually after a breakup? Number one, straight up, we see it as validation. We want to feel validated. Maybe you weren't getting much sex in your last relationship before it ended. Maybe you're like, no, I need the validation to show that like I still got it. Somebody still wants me, right? Like that's normal. You're a human being. Number two is it's a distraction. It's so heavy when you go through a freaking breakup that all of a sudden you're like, I just need some distractions here. Like, I don't even want to think about it. I kind of want to just like disassociate and go off and have sex with somebody and just like find somebody and just kind of just act like nothing happened. We're just going to plug myself, no pun intended, right back into having sex with somebody and it's all good. And number three, proof that somebody wants you. Because when you are breaking up with somebody or you're in a breakup or you're going through a breakup, you might feel like, yeah, nobody's ever going to want me again. So it's back to that validation piece, though. You want proof. You want to see it in the writing that somebody is actually attracted to you that is not your ex. And that can feel good. It can actually feel like a high because all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, woohoo, I got it. And I'm going to say this. I actually believe that rebound sex is not necessarily a bad thing because sometimes it can kind of give you the confidence or what you need to move forward. I think what is being very clear with the other person that you're going to have sex with is letting them know that you're not looking for anything serious right now. Because if you're going to have sex with somebody and you're acting as if you're serious about them and you want a relationship, you want to see where this goes, you are not going to be attaching emotionally, physically, in a healthy way to this person or growing a relationship with them, to be fucking honest. And then, of course, we have the phase where it's like, don't touch me. I don't want to have sex. I don't even want to think about sex. And here's exactly why. It is normal to have zero interest in wanting to sleep with someone after a breakup. Your nervous system is just like, bull. It's on overdrive. It's not looking for connection. You don't want connection. You're having trust issues. You're like, why would I trust somebody sexually now? So your body is like, I'm going to protect itself and we're not going to open up sexually. We're not even going to go there for connection. Number one, you have zero interest in sex. Number two, your body needs safety. It needs to feel safe to open up sexually with anybody. And when you're in a place of not feeling safe, and you might be in a safe place, you might be in a house that is good and warm and comfortable, and you're around people that you love, and you have friends or roommates or whoever, that's fine. But what you are looking at here, when we look at safety, is feeling the emotional safety to be able to connect with another person. This doesn't mean you're broken. I promise you'll get your mojo back. But you guys remember Austin Powers, the mojo? Fucking, I loved Austin Powers in the 90s. Like, I think it was the 90s, right? I'm like dating myself, but the 90s, right? Like, it was just, it was so great. Now, I don't know, looking back, maybe I would be like, what the fuck? This was not funny. This is like really terrible joke. So please do not quote me if you're like, Carla on Carla Turned On said that she liked Austin Powers. And now looking back, like the jokes are horrible toward women and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, if that's the case, then I I do not agree with Austin Powers. But what I might take away from it is the mojo piece. You lost your mojo and you got it back. So you will find your mojo again. It is not gone forever, but it feels like that. And that is normal when you are going through a breakup. And number three, you have to find some kind of emotional grounding. So you are feeling dysregulated. You don't feel emotionally grounded. You might be crying a lot. Nobody wants to have sex when they've been crying all day. I mean, maybe there's people out there. Hey, all right, I shouldn't speak for everybody, but the majority of people who've cried all day, who feel completely depleted, who don't want to get out of bed, aren't going to be like, yeah, I want to F someone's bones out there. Where are they? Okay, what I'm trying to say is you need to feel emotionally grounded to be able to have a sex drive. It's just true. And if you're not feeling it, then all of a sudden you're like, gosh, like I just don't want to have sex with anybody. That is normal. These are all normal things. The thing here, though, is that the response of a rebound or the response of nobody touched me ever again sexually is both unhealthy and healthy. It doesn't matter, actually. It literally does not matter. There is neither or. It is just the response of why you respond this way sexually when you are processing a breakup. And I'm going to leave you with this question because I believe it is important. When you are thinking about whether you're rebounding or don't touch me, or you're going to go rebound and have sex, or you're trying to force yourself to get turned on by something because you're just like, oh my God, I haven't gotten turned on in so long. I feel like depleted. Okay, All of the feelings, all of the thoughts, valid. But I want you to ask yourself this question. Is this helping me reconnect with myself or avoid myself? Loved this episode? Rate it 5 stars, hit that subscribe button, baby, and leave a review. Do you want to work with me? Grab my dating courses, apply for my coaching at carlaromo.com or find it all in the show notes, and give me a little follow at I am Carla Romo on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Catch you next time and stay tuned. Carla Turned On is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is not a substitute for therapy. For professional support, please reach out to a licensed mental health provider.